Oh, hello everybody. It's me, Chris Smith, and this is Blackie Humphrey, Hector Angel Shadow, Rascal Godfrey Gladstone III. And today we had thought about doing a video because it's the 20th anniversary of when that gunman tried to assassinate me at CBS Television City. But yes, it happened the day after Memorial Day in 2002. It was May 28th. I remember it like it was yesterday. But given the events of this week that happened in Uvalde, I didn't think that it was appropriate to really just talk about myself or that gunman that tried to kill me. So Blackie and I just thought that we would talk because we're not here to do a public service announcement or to change anything. But, I was saying to my roommate earlier, if that gunman had had one of those assault rifles that basically shoots all those rounds and turns people into, well, I don't even want to say, but it's just not right. These are war weapons, and we don't need war weapons in the hands of regular civilians. I don't even like weapons in the hands of anybody during war. But what are you going to do about that? That's a different issue. But an 18-year-old that's buying an assault weapon like that, what is it used for? It's not used for hunting unless you're going to puree a deer. I mean, you're not going to be out squirrel hunting or anything like that. It's not shooting cans that are propped up on a fence. The only reason anybody would want to buy a gun like that is if they're hunting people or, herds of animals, and that's not right. I mean, my Lord. I read a thing on line the other day. It was tweeted by a Christian Christensen. It had a blue check mark, I believe, but I don't know who that is. It said 26 years ago, a gunman entered Dunblane Primary School in Scotland, killing 16 kids and a teacher. The UK government responded by enacting tight gun control legislation. And in the 9,400 days, that's 9,400 days since, there have been a total of 0 school shootings in the UK. And our school shooting the other day in Texas that killed those 19 children and the 2 teachers, and then led to the heart attack of one of the teacher's husbands, which he died too. So that, to me, that's 22 people who have been killed by that man, and countless others suffering, injured, families mourning. That was the 212th mass shooting this year. I don't have it in front of me what number of school shooting it was. I think it was like 27th. But 212 mass shootings. There have probably been others since then. We just aren't hearing about it because we're not hearing much about anything else right now except for this Texas shooting, which we should all be outraged. But so I was saying, if they had had that assault weapon in 2002 when that gunman came and pointed his gun at me and it was like click, click, and I don't know if it jammed, I don't know if it wasn't really loaded. He shot himself, so he obviously had ammo. But there was a 10-year ban that was going on for these assault weapons that went from 1994 to 2004. So I thank my lucky stars and I thank God that I wasn't faced with an assault weapon like that, because I don't think it would have been jamming or not firing if he had pointed that at me. I would be in this cup right now, or hopefully a nicer container, but not to be morose. But yeah, I'm not offering suggestions really, though I wrote down a few. I mean, we don't need those kinds of weapons available to to the general public. I'm sorry, if you're a gun collector, why are you collecting that? I understand collecting things. I collected TV guides and soap opera digest. But assault weapons? What's the fun in that? Nice old deer rifles or something, that's one thing. But assault weapons? It's in the title, assault. I mean, good grief. We need better background checks, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Nobody's trying to take anybody's guns. I think they should abolish the GOP. Do we really need Republicans? And maybe Elon Musk could spend that money he was going to spend to buy Twitter, and he could do something to end gun violence. How about that, Elon Musk? Why don't you put your money towards something good instead of something like Twitter? I know it's not my money, but you've got so much of it. Don't you want to help the world? You know what would be a good idea? You know how back in the 80s, children were writing to leaders about the nuclear weapons, how everybody was worried there would be a nuclear war, and little children would write letters like that little girl that wrote to Gorbachev, or was that Rose Nyland on the Golden Girls? Well, I think it was both, and said, we're afraid of nuclear weapons. What if we get all the children to write letters to our congressmen and senators and Supreme Court and the president, everybody? I mean, maybe somebody will start to listen to these children. They are supposed to be the future, and they seem so determined to force women to have babies. Yet nobody wants to do anything to protect them once they get here. That's what I don't understand. They don't care about the poor people. They don't care about black and brown people, people of all sorts of races. They don't care about the people coming across the borders, even if they're children. But, you know, I'm just at a loss, and I'm rambling because I'm very upset, and Blackie is upset. But what my point is, if you say you care so much about these children that you want to be born, you need to protect these children. And not just children, all people. We could be in the movie theater, we could be in the grocery store, like those 10 people who were killed in Buffalo. And I mean the mass shooting in Orlando at that nightclub. No, we don't need that. We don't need those kind of weapons. And you definitely, why are there no background checks? Why are 18-year-olds allowed to buy a gun? 18-year-olds don't know how to do anything. I don't mean to say that 18-year-olds are stupid. They're certainly far more advanced than in my day. But no, you can't drive. Well, you can drive at 18, but you can't buy beer legally in this country. And we make people jump through all these hoops to do certain things, and we don't make anybody jump through hoops to get weapons. Now, I did read an interesting poem. Well, I guess it's interesting, but I mean, it's very sad. It's by Brian Bilston. Did you all read this? It was written in 2019. Now, I don't know who Brian Bilston is. I should have found out for you. But it's called America is a Gun. England is a cup of tea. France a wheel of ripened brie. Greece a short squat olive tree. America is a gun. Brazil is football on the sand. Argentina, Maradona's hand. Germany, an Oompa band. America is a gun. Holland is a wooden shoe. Hungary, a goulash stew. Australia, a kangaroo. America is a gun. Japan is a thermal spring. Scotland is a Highland fling. Oh, better to be anything than America as a gun. Isn't that poignant and devastating? I mean, I just don't know what to, I think that poem says it all. And I don't want America to be a gun. I don't want any country to be. So, everybody, we've got to stay angry. We've got to do something to change all this. And anyway, that's what I'm going to think of today. Instead of being angry about what happened 20 years to me, I'm just thankful that I got 20 years, and we can thank that because that guy had a stupid handgun or whatever that was that he had. I don't know. I don't know from guns. I don't know what kind it was, but it fit in a hand, and it wasn't something that could shoot 1,000,000 rounds at me, right away. So that's why I'm here and was able to meet Blackie. So, just think about it, y'all. And I bid you adieu and have a safe day. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.